It's April 30th, 2025. The cats are happy. It's a cool day, only 7 degrees today, but in the sun, it's lovely. Things in the garden are starting to grow. More things are sprouting every day. Most of them are weeds, but some of them are things I actually want to have in the backyard. Pickles is enjoying his time outside. The grass is a little drier now, so he gets to lay down and play with his toys. The asparagus has started to come up. I actually had a spear last night, a raw spear of asparagus, and it was actually pretty tasty. I haven't had asparagus in over a decade because I generally don't like asparagus, but it turns out the fresh stuff is pretty good. So I'm looking forward to my first harvest this year. Next up, I've got the currants and gooseberry and jostaberry garden, or section. This particular gooseberry is incredibly spiky. However, I don't recall what it's called. I'll show it on the screen there. I'm hoping for my first harvest this year. This is its 3rd year in the garden, and from what I read online, that's usually when they start to produce. Over here we've got the pink champagne currants. Made jam with this last season. The taste was fine, however, the seeds in the pink currants stay hard, or they're bigger, or I'm not sure what the difference is, but texture-wise, it's not as good as the black currant plant over here, or possibly a golden currant plant, as I learned last year. So I'm probably going to take the pink champagne plant out because it's taking up room, making shade everywhere else, and move my gooseberry into a more prominent position. But maybe I keep it for one more season and try making jelly with it to see if it's any good. Sebastian gooseberry. This one was created in Ontario, and I'm hoping for my first berries this season. This one is thornless, so it's much easier to handle. It's going to be interesting to see what the taste difference is between this one and the other one. This is the jostaberry. This is a mix between currant and gooseberries. Never had gooseberries before. I've had currants in jam, so we'll see what this tastes like. But it's growing pretty well this season, and like the other plants, I should be getting a harvest because this is the 3rd season it's been in my yard. Speaking of 3rd seasons, this is the 2nd time I've hit the 3rd season for these kiwi plants. However, Rabbits had a different idea of what I should do with my kiwi. This is the male, or what's left of it. With these particular kiwis, I've got 2 females and a male. You need a male in order to pollinate the females. So obviously, I'm not getting any harvest this year. This is what's left of the 2nd female. There are still some branches left over. It's starting to leaf up, which is great to see. But again, because the male has been cut down to basically nothing, and I'm not even sure if it's going to come back, I've got to wait an extra 3 years before I get another harvest, which is a bit disappointing. And I'm almost tempted to get rid of all of them and just get a couple of self-fertile kiwis. Either way, I'm looking at another 3 years. So I could just add additional defense, assuming the male survives this season. In the first raised garden bed, I've got shallots growing. I've also got some leeks. The shallots were from kept seeds that I harvested last season in my garden, and got some pretty good germination out of them. Of course, I've also got some garlic growing in the garden. This was all planted in the fall of 2024. There are 3 types of garlic. There's definitely some German red, or Russian red rather, and music garlic, and I think a 3rd variety of garlic, which is on the screen right now. 31 cloves, double what I had last year. I'm thinking of doubling it again this year. I'm going to be adding some more growing space this season, which means I could devote more of this particular bed potentially to growing onions and other allium-related things. Some Bianca del Bianca di Maggio. These are white onions. I want to say Capellini variety. I grew them 2 years ago. I enjoyed them. They had a good, strong flavor to them. They were a nice, firm texture. So I've decided to get some more seeds and grow it again this year. Garlic, flavor-wise, is significantly better than any store-bought stuff you could get. It's like tomatoes. I didn't know this until I grew my own garlic, but the flavor, when you cut open fresh garlic, you can see the liquid ooze out. It's an absolutely better, different flavor than any store-bought stuff you could get. In the second raised bed, in this area here, I'm growing several onions. The chives have come back successfully for their 4th year, I believe. And in this particular bed, I've also got some guardsman onion and some Tokyo long onions growing. There may be some Nebuka onions that are sprouting somewhere and some Hushiko onions. In the middle bed of the second bed, I'm growing some cauliflower, some cabbages, mostly brassicas. We've got some pak choi growing. I've got some gailan growing. I've also got some collards growing. Never grown collards before. Maybe I'll never grow them again. We'll see what I think about the flavor. Purple broccoli, several lettuces growing. I've got some beet seeds in the ground, but they have yet to sprout. So we'll see how we go. Protection has been added at the end here. I've got some peas. Blue shelling peas have been added to this section. And I got the bug netting up just in time yesterday. I saw my first cabbage moth, cabbage butterfly, whatever they're called, that thing on the screen. I do not want them getting in here. They've destroyed every other attempt I've made at growing cabbage over the years, which is why I've added bug netting in several other places. Back here, in this area, I've got some peas growing. This is just to protect them from the rabbits until they get tall enough. And in the back over here, under the netting, I've got more brassicas. We've got some Romanesco broccoli, some purple-headed cauliflower, and I believe there's a purple sprouting broccoli. Hascap plants. My 3 plants have survived, however, they did not go through winter unscathed. All 3 of them were gnawed down by rabbits. One of them, this one, way more than the other one, is about 1/3 of the size it was last year. Despite the damage by the rabbits, all of them appear to be giving out new buds. So I'm hoping to get a berry harvest this year, although it might not be very big. The other plant here is the best of the 3. This was transplanted in the fall, but it obviously survived. And it's budding up pretty quickly. Leaves are coming out, and within a few days we're probably going to start seeing flowers. Hascaps are a pretty early season plant. Victoria rhubarb. This was transplanted in the fall of 2024, and it was the last area of the garden to not have snow, so it's only coming up now. My Glaskins perpetual rhubarb came out a few weeks ago and was about 3 times the size, but it's in a completely different area of my yard. It'll be interesting to see if there's differences in flavors between Victoria and Glaskins perpetual rhubarb. I bought a hosta plant recently, bare root, and it seems to be doing pretty well. There was just one little white strand coming out of the dirt last week when I planted it, and now I've got a couple of leaves coming out. This is a nice area that stays shady pretty much most of the day after 11 a.m. because of the shed that's right behind it. I don't think rabbits are interested in hostas, but just in case, I built a cage. Cilantro has been transplanted into the yard. It's been growing inside for a while. Here we have some more chives. I love my chives. They're so reliable. They come back so quickly. Look at this. This is how much it's grown since the snow went away. And the flavor in spring of these chives is just absolutely delicious. I need to find more uses for these. I might try making some chive pancakes. Green onion pancakes are great. Chive pancakes might be great as well. My 2 kitties.
How y'all doing?
Enjoying the sun.
Really? You're liking the sun? Yeah?
I'll be getting rid of my greenhouse and the platform. Platform was a bad idea in hindsight, but I've got plenty of wood here that I can utilize for other purposes once I deconstruct the platform. Greenhouse tarp was mostly destroyed over winter. It lasted 4 years, so I can't really complain. I'm going to keep the base structure, and I'm actually going to probably grow a grapevine in the area where I keep the structure. I bought a Himrod grape on impulse a few weeks ago when I bought the hosta plants. So I'm looking forward to grapes. It'll be a couple of years before I get any harvest, or more if it goes as the way the kiwi did. But we'll just ensure there's better protection this time. I've learned lessons over the last few years. Build a fence, learned a few years ago. And after this winter, I learned that you need to build a fence that is taller than you think it will need to be, because you might get 2 feet of snow in 48 hours, which will allow rabbits access to all of your plants to destroy most of the things. Here's what's yet to be planted outside in terms of cold, hardy-ish plants. These keep coming in at night right now if the temperature drops under 1 degree. I did forget last night. It was only -1, so everything seems to have survived. This is my young artichoke plant. I've got a few of them. I tried growing them a few years ago. I didn't get anything out of them. They died on me. Everything I've read says they need about 2 weeks of temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius, so they've been going outside for the last few weeks. Some arugula, rocket, starting to sprout. This should start growing real quick in the next few weeks. In this other raised container, I've got some guardsman onions there, and beneath the ground, there are some French fingerling potatoes, harvested in August of last year. They made it through the whole winter. Some tundra spinach. It should start growing pretty quickly over the next few weeks. I've not really had luck growing spinach in the fall, so I'm focusing on early spring harvests. You know when you think you're recording, or you don't think you're recording, or you hit the pause button, but you didn't actually hit the pause button, and then when you begin recording again, you actually hit the pause button, so when you're recording, you're not actually recording. My fruit trees all appear to have survived the rabbit's attempt at destruction. My 4-in-1 plum is starting to show some leaves. My apple tree has got buds. Both the plum and the apple tree are 4-in-1 plants, and it seems that all 4 branches somehow survived the rabbit's destructive attempts at destroying everything in my yard. The peach tree, relatively unscathed compared to the apple and plum trees, but there was some damage from the rabbits, so I'm hopeful that it'll make a full recovery. I'm seeing buds on the peach tree as well. I'm hoping in the next few days we're going to be seeing leaves everywhere. If I can get a plum, an apple, a peach, I'm going to be excited. I don't need 500 peaches. Just give me 1 peach, and I will consider that a victory. Believe this is a bleeding heart plant. I could be completely wrong. I thought this died out last season because it didn't seem to make it very long, but it may be coming back this season. We'll see in a few weeks what it looks like. I might be completely wrong here. I've got some echinaceas nearby, although this doesn't look like an echinacea. We'll see what time says. Got a lot of work to do in the herb garden. Got to readjust the thyme, the oregano. They should both come back. But I want larger containers for them so they can spread a bit more while remaining contained. I've got a bunch of non-herb plants that need to be removed. Some tiger lilies that keep coming up every year, although there's less and less of them. And we'll just keep cleaning this up until it's as I want it to be. I'm probably going to purchase some parsley because I suspect my parsley will not come back this season because it hasn't in prior seasons. And I may put a big pot of the parsley by my house against the house. We'll see if the residual heat in the winter allows the parsley to survive the winter. So that's about it. That is the state of things right now. Things are greening up. Tulips are coming out of the dirt. They should be flowering in the next few weeks. The yard's going to look a bit different. Well, it's going to look a lot different once everything starts to green up. But with the change of the greenhouse area, that'll change things a bit more as well. Looking forward to another season in the garden. This year, I'm going to focus on the garden. Last year, a lot of the focus was on expanding the garden. Although, I am planning on adding about a 10 by 8 bed, so there it is. Here are some crocuses. They came up. They're lovely. The other crocuses haven't come up. I suspect it is because I put too many wood chips down. But the tulips seem to have survived. A lot of them are coming up. Some of my echinacea may have survived. We'll see. sea holly, we'll see. And I've got several other plants in my front garden area. We'll see what survived, what didn't survive, what pokes through the wood chips, what doesn't poke through the wood chips. Even though I may lose a few plants because of the wood chips I put down, because of the barrier, I have zero complaints. When I dig down into those wood chips, that soil is alive. Almost every time now, I see worms. Anyways, thanks for watching. Au revoir.